In this video, I'll cover the indicator that I released and updated called the weekly open, high, low, and close. And before we jump in, the elephant in the room is obviously my voice. I recently had surgery and I lost my voice after the surgery. It's slowly coming back. But I did ask some people, I did a video and asked some people in the group whether or not my voice would be too annoying. One person said I sounded like Batman. Didn't say which Batman, so that could be a good or bad thing depending on which Batman you like. But at least the initial responses I got back is that the voice isn't too annoying. It's not a strain on me. I have my strength. I feel good. I still have a future with my health stuff that I've got to go through. So people in my group know that. But there's been some videos that I'd like to knock out that are shorter, that I think a lot of people would get some value on. And some of these are on the indicators that I'm releasing and then I'm using in my system. So in this video, we'll cover the weekly open, high, low, and close indicator that I updated and adopted. And the reason why I did that is because, and you'll see this here as we go through in this video, these weekly levels, the open, the high, the low, and the close, are some critical levels that the markets, and I've seen this across all markets, tend to respect. And having this on your chart, if there's one indicator that you have on your chart, I think it should be this one. And you'll see here as I go through this on why it's critical. So first up, the indicator is linked down below. The other way that you can add it to your chart on TradingView is to go to indicators and then search for weekly. And then this one here with my username, Weekly OHLC updated. I did update the zoned out dad indicator, and I did that because I want to add a lot of customization to this, some alerts and some different things that this base indicator does not have. Now, for those that are in the training, I've already released a actual trading strategy video that will share how I think to best trade with just this indicator alone, how you can use this indicator to really inform your trading decisions, how you can use this indicator for some really good trades. This, in conjunction with the daily time frame trading system that I released, I think would be a strategy that anybody, given any time, any trading level, could implement. So this is one of those indicators that could be the backbone of a very strong trading strategy. So let's jump into this and let's talk about what's here. So let's go to the current week. So the black line that you see here is the weekly open. The green line is the weekly high, or these are dots, the green dots, and then the red dots is the weekly low. Now, there is options here to show the weekly close, but for a market like crypto where it's 24 hours, that's not necessary because obviously this previous week close is the weekly open because it's a 24-hour market. So for the crypto market, you can turn that off. Other than crypto, it is helpful to see the previous week close because typically you want to see the gaps between if it gapped up, if it gapped down, you really want to understand that. So that's a good thing for equities or Forex, for markets that typically close on the weekend or that have closing times. So let's jump in a few charts right now and you'll see pretty quickly why you'll want this on your chart. Why understanding these levels or having these levels readily available on any time frame that you trade will help you understand where support and resistance might come into play, where there might be potential targets, will give you a better understanding of the velocity of the market. So I'm just going to go through a couple of charts and just start narrating exactly what we see. So let's just start right here. What's on the chart? First up, as we look at this range here, we look at right here what's happening here. The first interesting thing that I see is that this low was a previous week open. That low was a previous week open. This high of this week right here was really close to this previous high of this week. Same with here. This open here, now right now it's currently experiencing a run in EOS right now. We could see that it broke through this high, and this high. So these previous highs were used as well as resistance areas. Now, if we look and we just say, well, where's the next level on the weekly time frame that this potentially might have a run to? Let's use this actual info line. It would be here. I should use the ray. It'd be this week right here, this week open. So if this run continues, that's where we would expect resistance. And that's probably about a 10% move from here. It is about 9-10%. So that's about 10.5% from this point here. But see, the other thing I would point out to notice is look at how sometimes the price action here on the weekly open. So here's the weekly open on this week. Goes up, gets shy of this weekly open here, comes back down, uses the weekly open as support. Closes above, did the same thing here, except here it broke through the weekly open. And then here, price moved up here, has the weekly open right here, and then really rode above the weekly open here. So let's go to another chart. So we're looking at waves BTC right now on the 4-hour time frame. And what's interesting about waves here is that it's approaching, and this is why you can of course see this without the actual lines, the weekly open lines and everything else. But when you add these lines and these levels to your chart, it gives a new perspective on how these lines or how this support and resistance is being created. And this is, so if we turn this back on here, we see that this level here that was created back in December of 18 was respected here and then was respected here. And now as it's retracing right now, it's approaching these lows, which is kind of real close to this open here. And we see that there was a little bit of slowdown right around this open. We see a green candle, some rejection and everything else. So there's a little bit of a slowdown. So the expectation, this is good information to know, obviously, as we look at these key levels on the weekly, that this is, you can just look at this chart anyways and just say that this is a key level that if it breaks, it's most likely going to break heavy to the downside if it breaks. Or if it breaks a little bit and finds support, you would expect a reaction. And this is where it's really helpful to understand this, because as that reaction happens, what would you be watching? Well, if let's say that it breaks here, let's say in the next 8 hours, price breaks down here and it finds support. The first level you'd be watching is these weak opens. There's a weak open here, there's a weak open here. So this level right here, so if we use a horizontal ray, those weak opens. The next one we'd be looking at is this weak high and this weak open, which is real close to this weak open as well. So this whole range here we'd be watching as well. And then that's real close to where it really started another decline, another wave down. So this would be this probably would be wave one. It's hard to say. This is a wave down, and then you could say this is rejection, and then this is a wave down. But from this week, price never closed above on this week. So you'd be looking, if price did find support and there was a run, you'd be watching these key areas, which is these weekly opens, for clues of price action of continuation. And then, of course, this would be the big one, because this is the current week's open. Another line that you see on here that you can do in TradingView, this actual line right here is the daily open. So that's the daily open, which is another important point that you want to have in mind as you're trading. So that's I could go through chart after chart, but you'll see the same pattern across all charts, all type of assets. It's the understanding and having the weekly open high and low readily available on your chart is one of the most critical things in your trading strategy. So definitely add this to your chart. A couple things before I end the video here. If you haven't joined us on Discord, there's a link down below in my group where you can ask questions. I talk about trading. I share my trades. I am developing a new system that is completely indicator based. That is pretty much, if you followed me on YouTube here, or if you're in the trading, you know I've been very much focused on price action. That's the trading style that I've developed. I'm now rolling out some indicator solely based strategies that I'm very excited about. So I'll be definitely sharing those. So you haven't joined us on Discord, definitely join us there. And finally, I do have training. So this training, and you know, I don't mention this much in the videos, but my training, while it started as crypto focus, I trade other markets, and I'll be bringing in Forex equities, first Forex. So I'll be bringing in the Forex strategies first. And my goal with the training is for people to be able to consistently and reliably extract capital from the markets that they trade. That's the goal of my trading, to create an edge and a system so that they can consistently and reliably do that. So my training is all about the foundational aspects of trading and having an edge over the market. So if you're interested in that, definitely join Discord. You can DM me and ask me how to get started with the training. That's all for this video. I'll be knocking out a couple more here with my hoarse voice. So if you like this video, definitely subscribe, share a like, or share a comment down below. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.